بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم اللهم صل على محمد وآل Muhammad. Ritual impurities. The author says they are 10. A great way to remember the number of ritual impurities is to count the number of letters in the word impurities. It has 10 letters. I, M, P, U, R, I, T, I, E, S. The first one mentioned is that which exits the two openings of a living being that is impermissible to eat. This is because the droppings of those animals which may be eaten are considered ritually pure, whether the animals have blood or not. The author continues, and has blood. Excluded is that which exits the two openings of a creature that doesn't have blood, like a frog. It is considered pure. Although missing from this text, the book Al-Azhar includes the phrase, quote, or the animal which eats filth, jalal, end quote. As for those animals permissible to eat which may eat the filth of another animal, that which exits their two openings is similarly considered ritually impure. These type of animals are known as julal in Arabic. Their milk is similarly considered ritually impure. The added phrase continues with the clause, quote, before its change, end quote. This refers to the change of the substance's color, taste, and smell due to the animal eating an impurity. As for after the complete change of its taste, smell, and color, it would be considered ritually pure. That is to say that once the droppings of the julal return to its original state before it ate the ritual impurity, its droppings would be considered pure. The second ritual impurity mentioned by the author is, quote, intoxicants which have been processed to be that way. Natural intoxicants, he says, are pure, including hashish, narcotics, and the like. That which is made from grapes or anything else which intoxicates is considered ritually impure. There are two types of intoxicants, that which intoxicates in its natural state, like hashish, and that which intoxicates due to its state being changed and processed, like wine. One does not have to do anything to hashish to make it an intoxicant. However, one has to process grapes to make it wine, for example. According to the opinion of the author of this text, as well as that of the author of the Matan al-Azhar, those intoxicants in their natural state, such as hashish, are considered ritually pure. They only hold to the ritual impurity of intoxicants whose state has changed. The most established and precautionary view, however, is that all intoxicants are ritually impure, whether they intoxicate in their natural state or intoxicate after being processed. This is because those explicit texts of the Quran and Ahadith command one to refrain from all intoxicants without exception. Regardless, they are impermissible to consume. Excluded from this text but present in the text Al-Azhar is the clause, quote, even if it is cooked, end quote. That is, even if intoxicants are cooked, they are considered ritually impure. This is in contrast to the view of Abu Hanifa, who holds cooked intoxicants to be pure. This is because even if it only removes some of its properties that alter the intellect, it is still considered an intoxicant and therefore impure. The third ritual impurity the author mentions is dogs. The entire dog is considered ritually impure according to us. The fourth ritual impurity is pigs. The entire pig is considered ritually impure according to us. The fifth ritual impurity is disbelievers, according to us. The author says that the sixth ritual impurity is something separated from a living being with blood, except wool, nails, and horns, while it is still living. That which is separated from a being without blood, such as locusts, small worms, and the like, is considered ritually pure. It is necessary that it be living because that which doesn't have life, such as hair, wool, hooves, or nails, are considered pure. However, if the roots of the hair are separated, they would be considered ritually impure because they are considered living. The seventh ritual impurity is all types of carcass. It is considered ritually impure, including its meat, bones, veins, and skin, even if it is tanned. The author makes exceptions when he says, quote, except fish, that which has no blood, because they are both ritually pure, and that which doesn't contain life, like hair, like the horns, hooves, and nails of the carcass. Excluded from this text, but present in the Matan al-Azhar, is the added phrase, quote, from other than the aforementioned ritually impure creatures, end quote. This refers to the dog, pig, and disbeliever. The hair, fur, and nails of other than these three are considered ritually pure. The author summarizes the first 7 ritually impurities by saying, these 7 things are binding and there is no exemption from any of them. That is to say that there is no excuse for any of the aforementioned ritual impurities. They are considered ritually impure regardless of the amount. The exception is that very small amount which is carried by flies or the wind. The author then mentions the last 3 ritual impurities. The 8th is vomit that fills the mouth completely after being ejected from the stomach. Anything less than that, or that which is not ejected, is considered pure. The 9th of the ritual impurities is milk from a living thing impermissible to eat. It is considered ritually impure according to us, except that of a living Muslim woman. The milk of a Muslim woman is considered ritually pure by consensus. As for the milk of the carcass, it is considered ritually impure according to us. The milk of the animal permissible to eat is ritually pure unless it is in proximity to the milk of a ritually impure animal. It is then rendered ritually impure. The 10th ritual impurity is, quote, blood and its brothers, pus and serum, except that which remains in the veins after slaughtering, end quote. That blood is considered ritually pure, although the meat isn't. The meat must be washed according to the madhab. Excluded from this text but present in the Al-Azhar is the added phrase, quote, that of fish, bedbugs, and fleas, end quote. That is to say that even if the blood of these creatures is copious, it is considered ritually pure. The text Al-Azhar also includes, quote, that which seals on a wound, that is, scabs on a wound, end quote, as another exception. Hardened scabs are considered ritually pure because it is solid and prevents blood from flowing. The author then summarizes the last 3 ritual impurities by saying, quote, these 3 things, that is, the aforementioned vomit, milk, and blood, are light if the vomit doesn't fill the mouth, or if the blood and milk consist of only a drop. That means that in the case of vomit, it is less than a mouthful, it is considered ritually pure. That is, if the vomit consists of less than a mouthful, then it is pure. In the case of milk and blood, if it is a drop or less, it is considered pure. Even if a drop were to come from a larger amount, the drop is considered pure. The Al-Azhar includes the phrase, quote, except if they are from a ritually impure creature, end quote. This means the dog, pig, and disbeliever. The text also adds to the exception, quote, or the 2 openings of that impermissible to eat, end quote. The ritually impure substance from these 3 categories are not exempted regardless of the amount, as we mentioned before. Although the section on ritual impurities is concluded in this book, we wanted to highlight some issues. In the Al-Azhar, this section is concluded by the following, quote, there is difference of opinion regarding the pus of a cauterized wound and that of a fresh wound, end quote. According to the madhab, It is pure, even if its color changes to yellow. However, if the color changes to red, it is considered ritually impure. The text goes on to say, quote, "The urine of that which is discouraged to eat is similarly discouraged, such as that of rabbit." End quote. Similar is the case with the monitor lizard and hedgehog. The discouraged animals will be discussed in the food section, inshallah.